Good evening, I'm George Jones.
And I'm Cynthia Arsenault, in for Margaret Dubuisson. It's an emotional scene as a man bends down to kiss his wife's grave hours after he threatens to detonate a bomb right here at Channel 8. We'll have an exclusive inside look at the drama.
Some tense moments off the coast of Louisiana as a water spout drops from some dark gray skies.
I'll tell you about a severe thunderstorm watch that affects southeast Louisiana.
Also ahead on News 8, the latest from China where evacuations reach a panic pace.
We'll have those stories and a lot more next on News 8 New Orleans at 5.
This is News 8 New Orleans at 5.
Good evening once again, I'm George Jones.
And I'm Cynthia Arsenault, in for Margaret Dubuisson.
Our top story tonight hits very close to home for all of us here at Channel 8. A 55-year-old New Orleans man is behind bars tonight following a tense standoff here at the Channel 8 studios this afternoon. For 3 hours, he threatened to detonate a bomb he allegedly carried in a paper sack near his side. He said he was despondent over the death of his wife. Several hours later, police drove him to his wife's grave sign for a few minutes. He bent down and kissed her grave. It was an emotional end to a long drama.
Well, it all began just after noon today.
And it began in the lobby of the Channel 8 studios. News 8's Joe Giardina is live in the lobby right now. Joe, pick up the story.
Well, we can smile about it right now, George, but a few hours ago we weren't smiling because each day dozens of people come to this lobby, meet the receptionist, and discuss business here at Channel 8. But on this particular day, the elderly man walked in. He was carrying a bag. He also had a machete in his hand. And for several hours, this room became a negotiating room. And police were negotiating, as well as our own production manager, Elton Jones. Elton Jones was with the man throughout the ordeal. They sat throughout most of the negotiating sessions talking to police on this telephone. And luckily, when it all ended, it ended peacefully. 12:15 p.m., a middle-aged man walks into the Channel 8 lobby. He was nervous and was carrying a bag. As members of the New Orleans Police Department SWAT team surround the Channel 8 studios, a hushed crowd of onlookers held their breath when they heard the man said he had a bomb. News 55-year-old Roy Soprano. He was also carrying a machete. Throughout the ordeal, Jones tried to keep Soprano calm.
He did indicate that at a point where I think he was extremely frustrated. He did not value his life, and as far as he was concerned, he'd take anybody who went along with him. But again, just in talking to him, you could pick up that was not his real intent. I mean, he didn't want to hurt anyone.
But you had to be a little concerned when he said that, I bet.
Oh, absolutely, sure.
Police negotiators entered the picture, first talking to Soprano over a telephone, while others began mapping out the WVUE studios, taking every precaution into consideration.
Listen to me. I'm going to go to the door over here, and I'm going to knock for you to come. And you package down, you wait for me at the door. Right. Put the package down. You put the package down and come meet me there. This is what we got to do.
Soprano says he was angry because his wife, who was Japanese, died in 1983 at Mercy Hospital during childbirth. He said he was taking this action to avenge his wife's death. Negotiators were successful in getting Soprano to let his hostage go and then to put down his bag, which he said contained the bomb. In return, police agreed to bring Soprano to the Garden of Memory Cemetery to visit his wife's grave. He then was put under arrest. After nearly 3 hours, the drama had ended. WVUE employees were allowed to go back inside the studios, and the police were able to chalk up another successful operation.
I think the fact that we were able to relate to him, and the fact that I think he had confidence in the New Orleans Police Department by some of the statements he was making, I think that was the reason for our success.
And one of the big questions we've been asked throughout this ordeal, what was in that paper bag? Well, we can tell you it was not a bomb. It was a can of grapefruit juice. And believe me, when the police opened that bag, there was a big sigh of relief. And again, this thing ended safely, safe and sound for everyone, and we can all laugh about it now. But again, earlier, George, it was not a laughing matter.
I would imagine not, Joe. And I would imagine you don't take chances.
No. We're relieved that it's over.
Well, throughout this entire situation, Channel 8's production manager Elton Jones was with the suspect, as Joe told you, talking with him and calming him, literally keeping the peace.
Now, Elton was formerly an auxiliary police officer. He joins us now. Elton, were you scared through all of this?
Well, you don't really think about that, or at least I didn't at that particular point in time. I think I was more concerned with just keeping this gentleman as calm as possible, and whatever was in the bag, as he indicated, if it would drop, it would detonate. So certainly I did not want that to take place.
Elton, being a former reserve officer for NOPD, did that come into play, training?
Absolutely. One thing that you learn through training with the police department is how to, first of all, recognize a dangerous situation and to try to diffuse it as quickly as possible. I'm not a hostage negotiator, but again, I just simply tried to recognize what was taking place and to talk to the gentleman, keep him talking, and try and keep him as calm as possible so PD could secure the area.
All right, now we're seeing tape, Elton. Just a moment ago we saw tape of you talking to the suspect. Now we're seeing police as they secured the Channel 8 area, the bomb squad and SWAT team members as they move in. What's going through your mind through all of this? Because you don't know this is orange juice.
You don't, but you always have to assume the worst. You cannot underestimate the potential danger. So I would just, and I had to assume that the gentleman was true to what he was saying, that there was indeed a bomb inside the bag, and if he did not get some type of assistance, he would detonate that bomb.
What was he telling you?
Various things. I mean, he went through a number of, again, extremely distressed about his wife. Also, he felt as though he was getting a runaround from various people, just kind of felt left out, and this was his attempt to try to avenge his wife's death.
Well, personally and professionally, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm glad I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Known you a long time. All right.
Now, late today, Soprano was rushed to Central Lockup. We have a live aid unit there right now.
Charging.
George Soprano has been brought up on a number of different charges, including carrying a concealed weapon, criminal trespassing, terrorizing, and exciting the neighborhood. And right now he is behind me, safely behind bars at Central Lockup. Joining me now, though, is Superintendent Warren Woodfork. I noticed you were on the scene in this case, Superintendent. You usually aren't. Why this one?
Well, this was a bit unusual. We had a hostage situation and a bomb threat. Normally, SWAT roles are barricaded subjects and with a hostage. This was a bit unusual. I didn't stay on the scene very long, enough to encourage my officers, who I was quite proud of the performance of the members of the Special Operations.
Now, what is likely to happen to Soprano from here?
It's obvious he has some psychological problems. He will be referred to a psychologist by the coroner and maybe given some assistance.
Thank you very much, Superintendent. You did a very nice job out there. Right now, once again, to give you an update on the situation, here Soprano is behind bars and he will be arraigned sometime later this evening. Reporting live from Central Lockup, I'm John Sherman, News 8.
something there and expecting someone to walk in there and do something. We don't want to wait. We can get Channel 40 to start. Go all the way under the bridge and come around the back street. They let them go.
He came to us.
word that it's over, I'm going to come back to the office and brought the guy out.
All right, Elton, you did a great job out there keeping this guy calm for almost 3 hours. What was going through your mind while all this was going on?
Well, actually, just saying, I think
And safely and no one injured?
absolutely, extremely pleased with the efforts of the administrative forces, negotiators, and most of
was requesting at first, wanted to make negotiations as far as, with the police. He wanted to speak to a police, and he